Well, this is interesting. I am touching things over here. Sorry about that. Hi, everyone. I can't see my theater nerds, but I know you can see the slideshow, and I know you can hear me. This is frustrating, but I'll figure it out. Give me a moment. Welcome to This Week at the Theater. It's August 22nd. Man, we're moving through this month quickly. For a lot of you, I know you started school this week, which is great. Congratulations on starting school. And I hope it's going to be a great semester for you. That means a lot of our education programs are back in gear and back on track to have lots of young people and youth and all those good things going on at school. And we wish you well. We'll be publicizing all of their programming along with everything else that's going on in community theater right here on This Week at the Theater. Brought to you by the Sacramento Regional Theater Alliance. We are SARTA, and we are so happy to be here to share with you guys. Let me try one more thing. This is me playing my own tech person in the background, which sometimes can be great and sometimes it's not, so we have to be careful of these things. Okay, yeah, don't touch that. All right, but you can see the slides, and that's the most important thing. I'm not important. This is important. The information we're bringing you is important. And we help bring you that information because many of you have reached out and bought memberships. Thank you. Thank you for supporting us that way. You get some benefits from being a member. There are discounts on SARTA sponsored events. We've got a couple of those coming up this fall, one in September next month, and another one in November. We're going to have another cabaret. So if you're a member, you can look forward to having discount tickets on that. Members can also get early access to these tickets, like you'll get your tickets first so we can make sure that your seats are covered and you're not sold out, which is a wonderful thing, right? We don't want you to be sold out. Theaters and businesses that want to become members and support us in a larger way, well, our theaters, we're going to promote you, and you'll get special mention and more opportunities to promote on our website. I heard from somebody again this week who said, they didn't know what SARTA was doing since the Ellies didn't exist anymore. And that makes me sad because what that tells me is so many people in our community never used our website or bothered to take a look at some of the other things that SARTA was doing, particularly in the last, year and a half now that we've been kind of allowed out of the house again after COVID. The Ellies haven't been around for a while, but SARTA maintains. We've been doing scholarship programs and giving money away so that young people can continue, easy for me to say, can continue to go to some of these wonderful camps and workshops that our educational theaters put on. That is one of the major things that we've been doing right now. We're looking at putting the final touches on our theater stipend program in the next couple of months. We've started the Tonight Starring series so that people can have that opportunity to have that one moment in time where they can do their favorite show. We have done one cabaret and are doing another one in November of this year to feature some of our wonderful musical theater talent that we have in this community. We gave away a Lifetime Achievement Award just last weekend at Woodland Opera House. They were having their award show, and SARTA surprised their outgoing director and artistic director that had been there for 25 years. This person was instrumental in starting their education program at Woodland Opera House and growing that very successful program. Angela Balthazar got a Lifetime Achievement Award. We're still giving those and honoring those folks in our theater community who are out there, have been out there for decades doing the work to bring you quality shows in these intimate theater spaces. So SARTA's still here. If you've got friends who ask you things like that, please tell them to go to our website, sarta.com. We've upgraded the website. We've got all kinds of new things on it. If you are a producing theater company, you can put your information on our website for free. It doesn't cost you anything. We will put it in our community calendar. You can put it on our Facebook page for free. It doesn't cost you anything. We will help you promote your show. That's what SARTA does to help promote the excellence of community theater in our local area. So help us do that. Really get the word out for folks who may be missing it or think that just because the Ellie program is gone, that SARTA has packed up their little tools and disappeared into the night. We are trying to reach different audiences on all these different social media platforms, which is why we do this Twitch show on Tuesday nights, to hopefully get the word out to folks here and be able to have a recorded piece saved on our YouTube page. Yes, we have one of those also that archives all of this. So when we do these announcements and do these community conversations with different theaters, they can be saved and viewed later on. You as a theater can go back and say, here's our community conversation with SARTA. Take a look at it. Check it out. We had a great time talking to people. And I've got a community conversation for you tonight, because we're coming up on the final weekend for the group that's putting on a play over at the Ooley Theater called Angel County. So we'll be talking with them, some of them, tonight as part of our community conversation. So theaters, we're still here. We're still helping. Let us help you. Contact us and tell us what you need. We want to know. We want to hear from you. And if we don't get input, we come up with our own ideas. And if it's not the idea you want, please email us and say, hey, as a community theater, I would love to see something like this happen. If we can do it, we will try and make it happen for you. Okay? Help us do that. It's under the part that says, and so much more. And if you feel so moved, subscribe. Subscribe now and become a member of SARTA. So let's take a look at some of the special events that are going on in our world out there. There's going to be a night of comedy put on by Celebration Arts, hosted by Dee Tyler, and this is going to be on August 27th. So it's coming up this weekend. Showtime starts at 7 o'clock. They've got tickets. They've got VIP tickets for $35 and regular tickets for $25. If you want tickets for this, you can go to celebrationarts.net. Get in touch with them. They are at 2727 B Street in Sacramento. Go for a great evening of comedy. You need to laugh it up sometimes, people. Laugh it up. As I said earlier, this is one of the things that SARTA has done in its reimagining of support for the theater. And we're going to have a community conversation with some of these folks coming up really soon. Tonight, starring on September 17th, 2023, will be a big fundraiser. We're going to do a staged reading of the show called Bull in a China Shop by Brenna Turner. And it's going to feature some of the same stars that were recently in Collective Rage, a play in 5 Bettys. So I'm really thrilled to have that team of very, very talented individuals back to do this. In fact, they brought this play to us and said they wanted to do it. So this is actually inspired by real letters between Mary Woolley and Jeanette Marks that went from 1899 to 1937. So it's a comedy looking at what is revolution and what does it mean to be at odds with the world. There was a lot going on in those years. How do we fulfill our potential? So many of us are still struggling with that question, yeah? And how the hell do we grow old together? So this should be great. Come and enjoy the show. Help support your local nonprofit organization, which is us. Remember, this is a fundraiser for us. So tickets will be going on sale very quickly if they're not already up on our website for Bull in a China Shop, our very next tonight's starring. Another fundraiser coming up, this one's going to be for Free Fall Stage. They're having a paint party and dinner on October 14th. So you can get your tickets for this paint party and dinner for theater lovers that they're having. The tickets are $39, and that includes your paint and supplies and the instruction on what you're going to paint and dinner and dessert. So if you want tickets for that, contact freefallstage.com and get your tickets for their paint party dinner, October 14th. All right, that's all of our special events and very cool fundraisers that are coming up. But we do need to take a look at our auditions. So get those resumes and headshots ready, because here we go. They're having auditions for the Miracle Worker. This is going to be at the Winters Community Center, 201 Railroad Avenue on September 5th and again on September 6th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. The Miracle Worker at Winters Theater Company. Remember to put that down so you can save a space to audition for this amazing show. It's a great story. Great story. Annie Sullivan and Helen Keller, The Miracle Worker. Another audition that's coming up this week, in fact, tomorrow. Today's the 22nd. These auditions are going to be on the 23rd and the 24th. There's two time slots for that each day, either at 5 o'clock or at 6:30 p.m. You need to prepare 60 to 90 seconds of any song from Stephen Sondheim to audition for McLaughlin Theater Company's presentation of Into the Woods. This is always a fun one, and the music's amazing. So it's a main stage musical, and acceptance into the cast is based on these auditions. So you want to make sure that you get in there to audition for Into the Woods. Auditions are also being held for School of Rock. These will be next week, this weekend actually, August 27th and 28th at 7 o'clock. So Sunday, August 27th, Monday, August 28th. Actors need only attend one of these nights. You don't have to come to both of them. And it's going to be at the Theater and Dance Annex, 520 Court Street, just a block up from the theater and across from the library. That you don't need to make an appointment, so you can just show up for whichever night you're going to do that. There'll be callbacks on Tuesday the 29th at 6 p.m. for School of Rock. That's a great show, and I'm so glad that Woodland Opera House is putting this one on. So get in there for your auditions for School of Rock. Roseville Theater Arts Academy, RTAA, holds a champagne gala each year. And this is the announcements for the auditions for that champagne gala. They're having the auditions on September 16th at 1 o'clock. The gala is actually going to be in November, so there'll be a lot of time to rehearse and practice for this. But it's time again for this big gala, one of their major fundraising events. So if you want to get in on this, get in touch with RTAA, Roseville Theater Arts Academy, for their third annual Champagne Gala auditions, September 16th at 1 p.m. I know this is early for some of the auditions, but hey, you just heard about auditions in September. Now we've got some auditions in October for Snow Falling on Cedars. This is being put on by the Community Asian Theater of the Sierra, also known as CATS. Pardon me. And they're celebrating their 30th year of putting on outstanding theater up in the Sierra Nevada area. This is going to be at the Nevada Theater on Broad Street in Nevada City next April and May of 2024. They need 13 actors, so there's a lot of openings for auditions here. They're going to portray 44 different roles, which is great. 7 of which are principal roles. They need Asians and non-Asians, people between the ages of 20s all the way up to their 70s. So there's a lot of opportunity here for folks to be a part of this outstanding show, Snow Falling on Cedars, coming to Community Asian Theater of the Sierras next year, April and May of 2024. Auditions are this October on the 8th, 9th, and 10th. Well, let's see what's playing right now. I know that there's a few things that have closed this last weekend. We've been juggling things through newsletters and things like that. So let's see what we've still got going on here in our area. Well, you still have time to go see the SpongeBob musical over at Woodland Opera House. It's playing through the 27th, so that's through this weekend. Woodland Opera House's presentation of the SpongeBob musical. You also have through this weekend to see California Stage's presentation of a Fringe First award-winning play called Chef. It was written by Sabrina Mahfouz, and it stars Jude Owens. Yes, it's a one-person show. It's playing through August 27th, so this is it. Fridays and Saturdays at 8, and then Sundays at 2 at the Three Penny Theater, 1725 25th Street. That's part of the R25 complex. There's plenty of parking on the corner of R and 25, and tickets are only $15. So that's a very good deal. You can also still get in to see The Play That Goes Wrong. Now, this is playing through September 10th, so you've got plenty of time to get tickets for this one. It's one of those successful farces, and if you like farces, this will be so much fun for you. This is a B Street Theater presentation, so you can get your tickets for this edition of The Play That Goes Wrong. I know a couple of people who have gone to see it, and they were talking about it and saying it was absolutely outrageously funny, and they had a wonderful time at this. So it's coming highly recommended. The Play That Goes Wrong. We've got more things coming soon, and more will start to open up because we have our Halloween season coming and all of those wonderful shows that are typically done during that time of the year, along with some of our holiday Christmas type shows will be showing up soon. Here's one special presentation that will be showing up on September 2nd through to September 23rd on Saturdays and Sundays at 1 o'clock over at Sutter Street Theater. You can catch Cinderella, Dreams Can Come True. This is a tale that'll touch your heart and make you laugh. Come and see if a little magic can bring Cinderella and the prince together and make dreams come true. Again, September 2nd through the 23rd at Sutter Street Theater. Here's another great show put on by Capitol Stage. This one opens tomorrow, the 23rd, and will play through September 24th. It's called Clyde's, and it was the 2022 Tony Award nominee for Best Play, along with being the New York Times Critics' Pick. This is its Sacramento premiere. This should be great fun, so get your tickets for Capitol Stage's presentation of Clyde's by Lynn Notage. Here's another one that is coming into getting us ready for our fall and holiday Halloween season. Dracula is coming to the Chautauqua Playhouse. Starting on August 24th, that opens this weekend, and playing through September 24th. So you've got plenty of time to get tickets for this great show. He looks a little menacing. Love the cape. Another one that's having a champagne gala on its opening night is Lincoln Theater Company's presentation of Fiddler on the Roof. This is going to open on September 15th and play through October 1st. It's on Friday and Saturday evenings with Saturday and Sunday matinees at the Lincoln Civic Auditorium, 511 5th Street in Lincoln, California. Volcano Theater Company made a change to this one. They're still doing Blithe Spirit, but they're doing it on Fridays and Saturdays starting at 7:30 p.m. Many of our theater companies have gone over to that now. Instead of an 8 o'clock house, it's a 7:30 house. So you have to pay attention to what's happening for your theater times. So they've moved their theater time. They made it a point to tell us this is a new time. Fridays and Saturdays, 7:30. Sundays, they have a 2 o'clock matinee. You can get your tickets at volcanotheater.net for this Noel Coward comedy classic, Blithe Spirit. Roseville Theater Arts Academy is happy to announce that they're going to have their production of Footloose, the musical, playing September 15th through September 23rd, with one of their performances on September 16th being ASL, American Sign Language interpreted. If you've never seen a production with an American Sign Language interpreter before, you should. It is just as entertaining to watch the interpreters for these things as it is to hang out and watch the actors. So tickets are already on sale for this show. So you better scoop them up before they sell out for these different performances. Remember, it's Footloose, the musical, at Roseville Theater Arts Academy. Here's the announcement for The Miracle Worker. I had just posted earlier the auditions for this, so they're auditioning for it. This is when the show will open. It's going to be November 10th through November 18th of this year. The Miracle Worker, the amazing story of Anne Sullivan and Helen Keller, written by William Gibson. So if you'd like to see this, put those dates in your calendar for November to see The Miracle Worker at Winters Theater Company. And again, for Snow Falling on Cedars by Community Asian Theater of the Sierras, this show will be playing April and May of next year, 2024. We'll have the exact dates for you later on, but you just saw me put up the audition announcement for this, which is the auditions are coming in October. So this will be coming next year. I love it when a theater gives you this much advance notice, right? You can really plan for what you're going to go see. The last time they did this particular play was about 10 years ago, 8 or 10 years ago. And I recall this getting a number of awards, and they've gotten the same director back again to do this one more time. So I anticipate it's going to be a really powerful show. So you may want to pre-calendar your 2024 to make sure you can get to see Snow Falling on Cedars at the Community Asian Theater of the Sierras, Nevada City Theater. Well, let's take a look at what some of the season schedules still hold for some of our theaters. Right now, Free Fall Stage is playing Pride and Prejudice. Then they will be doing their production of Help Me, finally wrapping up their season with Amelia Earhart. So we'll bring you the information on Pride and Prejudice pretty soon. That one's going to open in September. Davis Musical Theater Company is announcing its 2023-2024 season. They're going to open on September 8th with Something Rotten, which is a fun show. If you've never seen that, it's a great show. Then have Oklahoma, Seussical, the musical, Fiddler on the Roof, Into the Woods, and then wrap their season up with The Little Mermaid. So that takes you all the way through to June and July of next year. So if you were wondering what you were going to do with your weekends, well, here you go. You've got plenty that you can do if you go and see these shows. And then Woodland Opera House, well, we've told you about a couple of the ones that are on here. SpongeBob musical is playing right now. They're going to follow that up with The Addams Family. Such wonderful music in this. If you haven't seen this show, you really do need to see it. It's a great musical. School of Rock is coming. We showed you the auditions for that one. It'll be coming to their main stage series for their season. And they've got a comedy that's coming in January that they haven't told anyone about yet. It's a TBA, to be announced. So we're waiting to hear what this great comedy is going to be. They're going to be hosting a production of The Descendants, the musical, then Damn Yankees, another classic, and finally wrap up their season with Peter and the Starcatcher. So this takes you through June of next year again with the Woodland Opera House. So you can bounce back and forth between different theater companies. If you see something you like, get it on your calendar. Make sure that you support these local theaters. Alrighty, I've done a lot of talking, but we're going to do a little bit more, and we're going to do some listening too, because we've got a community conversation with the folks from a great show called Angel County. Angel County is part of the Artist Collective presentation, and they have an 11-person cast. Angel County was written by a local playwright, Shane Robert, and stars these amazing 11 people. I only got 3 of them to come for the interview. I told them, I said, I don't think I can get everybody on the same page if we do it. But it's playing through the 26th of August. Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 8 o'clock. So this is your final week to get a chance to go to the Ooley Theater, 2007 28th Street in Midtown Sacramento, and see Angel County. So give me a second to get my video up, and I'll be right with you. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another community conversation sponsored by the Sacramento Area Regional Theater Alliance. I have the privilege of being here today with part of the cast from a show called Angel County that's playing right now at the Ooley Theater, 2007 28th Street in Midtown. It's a great little intimate theater. If you've never been there, you need to go. You need to go see this show. So I'm here with Michaela and Stacy and Bernie. And you know what? They're not the only ones from the cast. I don't think I could get them all on the screen. So these 3 lovely folks have decided to come and share with us today. So thank you and welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to toss out some questions, and whoever would like to start answering, jump in there, share, because I want you to really tell everybody how amazing this show is. By the way, I already saw it. Pretty good. So I want to start with, give us your name. Tell us a little bit of your background coming to theater, and then why this play? I always like to know why actors go out for a play. So Stacy, why don't we start with you, and then we'll work our way around.
That sounds wonderful. I am Stacy, and I play young Sophia, and I was listening to my cat's meow, so can you please remind me what else you wanted me to talk about? I'm so sorry.
No worries. Give some background as to how you ended up in theater, because we always like to know, how'd you get here, and then why this play?
Okay. I have a funny story. I took 4 years of theater in high school, but then I became a teacher. And as a teacher, one of my students was in shows, and her mom was in a show, and said, we just started chatting, and she's like, you don't have to audition for this, just come and join us. So I actually started in musical theater. And that's kind of how I got started in community theater as a grown person. So that was fun. And then this show, I had many friends who were like, coming off of a run, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do anything. And I had a few people who were like, come out, just audition, just do it, just do it. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And I read the script and I liked it. It's a strong female cast, friends going through decades of their life. And I read it. It was lovely. And I actually got to audition with the lovely Michaela. And everybody's response was so wonderful. Everybody there was so wonderful. Everyone was so encouraging and so lovely. And it was just such a great energy and vibe. And the director, Shane, who also wrote Angel County, is so wonderful. He's so passionate. He's such a great writer, such a great director, and he let us have something. But so it was just a beautiful experience. So that's why I came out. Sorry, I gave too much.
No, that was perfect. That there's no such thing as giving too much. You can tell your enjoyment from how much you're sharing. Thank you for sharing that. And who would like to go next? Bernie, Michaela? Which?
Would you like me to?
Sure.
So I did not take theater arts in high school until I was a junior. I actually was in basketball and ran track. I was raised with three brothers, and my dad was a coach, and none of us did, music stuff or acting stuff. And so I actually had an elementary school teacher walk by me one time when we were singing some song in elementary school, and she said, "I think you could be a singer." And I just kind of laughed. Nobody in my family did this sort of stuff. So my junior year, somebody dared me to audition for Oklahoma, and I got the part of Ada Annie. And that started me. That just changed the trajectory of my life. I was going to be a court reporter, and instead I wound up majoring in theater arts at San Diego State, earned my teaching credential and taught 3 years down there, came back up here, earned my master's and taught years here, taught in LA. I've been going back and forth between doing my own acting and then loving and growing my theater arts programs for my high school students and middle school students. And so more recently, I was a care provider for my family, and my brother, who I was caring for, passed in September. And so it's now given me time to open myself back up to doing theater arts. So I've been on a hiatus for a while. I did do a show in the fall, Ghost of Woodland Opera House. And then this is my next step to moving on with more acting projects. And I feel very grateful to have the opportunity to have the time to pursue my own acting now. And why Angel County? Oh my gosh, when I saw the opportunity to do an 11-woman show, I had to give it a chance. And the last time I did an all-female show was Steel Magnolias years ago at Summer Repertory Theater in Santa Rosa. And this cast is amazing. They're so beautiful to work with. Everybody brings their own huge amount of talents and their hearts for the characters. Shane's a very sensitive and very caring playwright and director, and he's just brought out this female experience in such a beautiful way. The characters have been just wonderful to develop and grow. Stacy plays one of the younger versions of me, and we both have a teen version of our character as well.
Awesome. And then Bernie, same questions. How did you come to acting, and why Angel County?
Yeah, I love to start this answer with always telling people that it was because of a Macklemore music video, and a friend tweeted it and was like, "There's an open casting call out in Jack London Square in Oakland." And so me and a friend, we skipped class to go be a part of the music video, and being a part of that production and that set and seeing all the hard work put behind it is what inspired me to be a part of more productions like that. And so living in the Bay Area, I did a lot of background for different TV shows and then some feature films. And then when I moved to Sacramento about 2 years ago, I moved here with my partner, didn't know anyone, and I was really seeking community. And there was an acting class at STC, and it was theater focused, but I was wanting to dive back into acting after the pandemic and to improve myself. And so I took that class. I met a professor that teaches at ARC, was invited to do Men on Boats there, then was a part of that production, and then met other people, which is I think so amazing about the Sacramento community out here, is just people want to support each other and love sharing opportunities. And then that's also how I met Elise, who is managing Ooley Theater and just is such a wonderful woman. After a closing night of Waiting for Godot, which was the last show I was in, there's this restaurant that a lot of actors go to afterwards, and I met her there, and she said, "You look like you could play a teen. Do you want to come out to auditions?" And so I went out, and the space that she's creating at the Ooley Theater is such a beautiful space. As soon as I stepped in, I felt very safe. It feels like such a safe environment to be creative, to be vulnerable, which for the auditions, like it's such a vulnerable and sensitive piece that Shane wrote, that having that space, but also the women surrounding us, it it was just something that I knew I wanted to be a part of, and if I were to be offered the role, that I would absolutely accept it.
Awesome. Awesome. And then just for some background for folks, now that they've heard from each of you, how many women are in this show? Or what somebody
11. There are
Yeah.
11 women in the cast.
This is an amazing show. And as Bernie mentioned, and Stacy too, it takes you through decades of the lives of these women who are getting together, sometimes whether they like it or not, to experience life and share these moments and what's going on. And you have your triumphs and your tragedies and everything else along the way. And it's just such a wonderful each stage of the lives of the Sophias is wonderful. And all of the other actors in this really bring to life all of these different transitions that you go through in life with your friends. And it's so powerful, so very powerful. So I want to have someone talk to me about what's the run of your show. This is your commercial, so I want you to go ahead and do it. So how long are you playing?
We are playing the next 2 weekends. So this weekend, we start Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We have shows at 8 p.m. And then on Saturdays, we also have 2 p.m. It's from August 17th. And then our closing show is August 26th.
Awesome. So you still have time to get out there and get your tickets to see this amazing show. They said the opening night audience was pretty awesome, and I was there on opening night. So I got in to see it right away. It's totally worth your time. You need to see all of this talent. Is there anything else you want to share about the show, about your favorite moments in it that can pique some interest, get some people out there? We want to get some people in those seats so they can see your amazing show. Favorite moments, most touching piece that you get to do?
Well, I have a monologue that sometimes within just builds a great deal of emotion. Not sometimes, every time I'm performing it. And I was concerned, actually, after I got cast. It was a role that was interesting to me, but I was concerned after this particular monologue that you'll see when you come see the show, that's extremely emotional. And when I saw how many times we perform on Saturday, I'd be worried, like, oh my gosh, it's gonna wipe me out for those 2 days. But it's just interesting how with the support of such a wonderful cast and the support of wonderful director, and like Bernie alluded to, Elise, who owns that theater, the Ooley Theater, they just create such a safe and positive space that even when portraying such emotional pieces, you have time to regain your composure and get it back together, and then come back and do it again another night. So that was for me, that's the most touching. But I also love an act one, which I am not a part of. Some of us are only in act two, some are only in act one, depending upon our age group that we're in. And in act one, there's some very compelling scenes where I just think the audience is going to be really interested in seeing it live.
Yeah, absolutely. Stacy, I saw you light up there. You had something you wanted to share. Go ahead.
Oh yes. Micaela's, it's beautiful what she does. I was in Steel Magnolias a few years ago, and it's comparable to that. It's very heartwarming, very strong, very moving, very beautiful speech that she gives, and it's just, she performs it so well, and it's just, unfortunately I don't get to see it, but I get to hear it each night, and it's so well done. And the middle Sophia that she plays, she just does it so well. She's so beautiful in it. The way she brings out the character, the way that she embodies her is just so lovely. And the same with Bernie. Bernie is just amazing. Bernie plays Teen Doris, and she does such a great job. She has these heartfelt lines and these moments. And again, I don't get to see that, but sometimes I do when I'm waiting. um, and it's so lovely to watch and to listen to as well. And it's just such a strong cast. Everybody brings so much, and we feel like a family, and I feel like that's what everybody brings, and that's what we're showing the audience, these connections, the love, sometimes the fighting, which everybody goes through with their friends, and it's just these pivotal moments in your life that when you watch, you can truly connect to and you can truly understand. And I think that's what the opening night audience felt, especially. They were laughing and crying and going, oh man, and just making and just bringing so much out in it that just was so lovely. And that's why it's wonderful to have those live audiences and have people in the seats to come and see, not just because everybody in the show is doing such a great job. It's having that audience there to react to and to laugh. It just brings the energy out in us so that we can bring the energy out into these characters.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for pointing that out. That's the important thing about getting an audience there.
Yes.
Is because they, you as an actor, and I've been on stage too, you feed off that energy. You're like, well, I think this line is funny. But when someone laughs, it's like, oh, that line is funny. Yay, and they enjoyed it, So yeah, I understand what you're saying when you say you feel the energy coming back off your audience. Absolutely.
I was really curious to see how men would respond to this show, because there's 11 women-centric friendships, of course. And I had 3 different male friends come on separate nights. One is a former colleague of mine in the music department at a high school where I recently retired from, but he loved it, and he actually used the word compelling when he was talking about the storyline, and was so impressed with Sean's writing and how he seemed to capture the female relationships. Not seem to, how he absolutely captured female relationships and characters, and so we've been getting positive feedback from men too. So to the viewers out there, it's not just for women, although it is women-centric storyline.
Right. Oh no, absolutely. I think even if you're a guy watching this, you can see the women in your life who are traveling through all these different dimensions that are going on. And I have to say, I think one of the most impressive things for me, just watching this, was how seamless the threads from your teen years with you, Bernie, and Maya. That was Maya with you, right? Yeah. Yep. To those middle years when you all got together again in your age range, Stacy, to when you moved to where you were, Michaela. And then, there is yet another scene as they move through this. And you're just like, wow, by the time you get to the end, we've traveled it with you. And it is such a beautiful journey that you took us on. Compelling, good word, really good word for that. Absolutely. Bernie, any last thoughts from you before we take off for the evening?
Yeah, I mean, you spoke about it, this ability to see people's lives in the past and the present, and I think that every person could resonate with one of the characters, and I think that's the beautiful part, is that when and because I come up in the flashback, so I do have time to really sit and hear, and in the rehearsal process be able to see these women perform. But I think, like, being able to watch them, you start to think about the people who are important in your lives, whether it's past friendships or current ones, and you start to think about, I think, at least for me, it's about how do I cherish what I have, and how do I make these relationships meaningful, because it deals, the story deals with loss and love, and Shane, the writer, wrote and director wrote or dedicated this to his 2 grandmothers, which I think is really special. So I think you'll be able to see, if you come to the show and watch it, and I hope you do, you'll be able to see that not only your friendships in these characters, but the real life friendships that the cast and crew have actually made behind the scenes because we're all hands on deck. We really like we're helping each other in the back with quick changes and props and all of that. So it'll be a joy to see.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Michaela, Stacy, Bernie, thank you so much for taking your time out today to come and join us and tell people about the amazing show you're doing. Remember, this is Angel County. It's playing right now through the 27th of August at the Ooley Theater, 2007 28th Street in Midtown. It's right up the street from some really nice restaurants. Go have dinner, go see the show. You'll make an evening of it, and it'll be worth your while. Ladies, thank you so much. Continue to have an amazing run. We appreciate all you out there who join us for these community conversations. And we thank all of our theater folk for making the Sacramento Community Theater so vibrant and so lively. Angel County, go see this show. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Iris.
you.
Thank you.
Angel County, you need to go and see this show. And again, these are the last 3 days. You can see it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 8 o'clock at the Ooley Theater, 2007 28th Street in Midtown Sacramento. Go see this great show. Get your tickets. Get down there. You know you want to go. Thank you again to the cast from Angel County for coming and spending some time with us. We really appreciate it. And if your theater's doing something amazing that you want us to talk about, you want to have a community conversation, please email us, sarda@sarda.com. And let us know, hey, we've got a show opening and I'd like to talk to you about it. We'll get you recorded and we'll get you on here so we can promote you a couple of different times. I play these, again, this is the second time I've shared this one because, we want to get people out there. One of the biggest things I hear from other theater companies is, how can you guys help us get butts in seats? Well, let's work together to get those butts in seats. Let's talk to people about what your shows are. Let's promote what's coming up. Help us do that with you. Angel County, go see it. Let us publicize your program. I had mentioned that earlier. Let us publicize your program or your theater at sarda.com. You can go put it in yourself. Go to the section where it says shows and auditions, and right at the bottom of the page, you can fill out all the paperwork that tells us about your show. You can even upload a show poster if you've already got something like that. Put it in there so we can put that on our webpage, put it in all of our media, put it in our newsletter. So that goes out to our members. And we've got over 800 people on our mailing list that we send to. And that includes private folk and theater companies and businesses and other wonderful patrons of the theater. So it'll get out there to a lot of people. If you just get us the information, we will share it. Okay? All right. If you have not done so and you're hanging out with us right now, please push the little heart icon on the Twitch page to follow us. Follow us and you'll get notifications every Tuesday when I pop back in here to do This Week at the Theater and let you know what's going on. You can also follow us on Facebook at Sarta Theaters or on YouTube at Sarta Theaters. Remember, we always take our Twitch shows and go ahead and upload them to YouTube to keep a permanent archive. So you can go back anytime and take a look at what we've shared on This Week at the Theater. I say this to you each week, and I really hope you'll do this. I know there are at least 2 plays that I need to go see this weekend, so I hope I will see you at the theater. And if you see me out there, please say hi. I actually love it when people come over and go, oh man, I was watching the Twitch show. That was such a good show. You recommended. Tell me that you went to see something amazing, okay? I'll see you at the theater, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.